There's a moment you keep postponing. You call it confusion. You call it figuring things out. You tell people you're in a phase, that you're exploring, that clarity takes time. But if you're honest, brutally honest, there's something underneath all that noise. A decision. Not a big cinematic decision. Not something that would impress anyone. A quiet one. The kind that doesn't look dramatic from the outside, but rearranges your entire life from the inside. And you've been circling it for months, maybe years. I've seen this up close, not from a distance, not as theory. I've watched someone live inside this loop so long that it started to look like personality. His name was Rafael. Rafael worked in a marketing agency in São Paulo. Not miserable enough to quit, not fulfilled enough to feel alive. He woke up at 7:12 every morning, not 7:10, not 7:15, because that gave him exactly 3 snoozes before panic kicked in. Coffee, phone, messages, a quick scroll that somehow turned into 20 minutes. And every day there was a small window, maybe 5 minutes, where something uncomfortable tried to surface. Not a thought, not even a sentence. More like a pressure. Like his mind was about to say something, and he interrupted it before it could finish. He'd open Instagram, or check emails, or suddenly remember something urgent. That's how avoidance actually looks. Not dramatic, not obvious, efficient. You don't run away from the truth. You organize your life in a way that never lets it fully speak. Raphael used to say he didn't know what he wanted. That was the story. But one night, and I remember this clearly, we were sitting outside a bar, and he said something he immediately tried to laugh off. I think I already know what I should do. I just don't want to deal with what comes after. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's not confusion. It's consequence. Before de continuar, tudo que você está aprendendo aqui só funciona se você executar. E executar é exatamente onde a maioria para. Criei um sistema chamado Untamed Mind Protocol. 3 ferramentas que trabalham juntas. Um e-book que explica o porquê, um painel interativo que organiza o seu dia e um áudio de reprogramação que age onde o conhecimento não chega. Link na descrição. Agora, voltando ao conteúdo. You don't avoid decisions because you lack clarity. You avoid them because you understand them too well. If you truly had no idea, you'd experiment, you'd move, you'd test things without this weight in your chest. But that's not what's happening. There's a specific path you keep not choosing, because choosing it would force you to confront something precise. Loss, rejection, disappointment, the collapse of an identity you've been maintaining. Carl Jung once wrote that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. And anything doesn't mean chaos. Sometimes it means building a perfectly structured life that keeps you distracted just enough. You become productive in the wrong direction, busy but untouched. Raphael didn't quit his job. Instead, he optimized it. New routines, better organization, a productivity app, a gym membership. He even started waking up earlier. From the outside, it looked like growth. From the inside, nothing had changed. Because the real question was still there, untouched. Am I willing to leave what is comfortable, knowing I might fail at what actually matters to me? And that question doesn't go away. It waits, quietly, until moments when your defenses are low, late at night, long showers, silent car rides. That's when it comes back, not louder, clearer. I've ignored that voice before, not once, repeatedly. And what surprised me wasn't the immediate consequence. Life doesn't collapse right away when you avoid a decision. That's what makes it dangerous. It decays slowly. You start negotiating with yourself in small ways. I'll think about it next month. I just need more information. Now is not the right time. Each sentence sounds reasonable. Together, they build a cage. And the worst part? You decorate it. You make it look like a phase, like growth, like responsibility. But there's a difference between patience and postponement. Patience has direction. Postponement has fear disguised as logic. Raphael lasted 2 more years like that. 2 years of incremental improvements in a life that was fundamentally misaligned. Until something small broke. Not dramatic. He missed a deadline. That's it. But the reaction wasn't proportional. He didn't just feel stressed. He felt exposed. Because deep down he knew the truth. It wasn't about the deadline. It was about the life he was still choosing by default. That's the hidden cost of avoidance. You don't escape the decision. You just keep paying interest on it. In doubt. In low-grade anxiety. In that constant feeling that something is slightly off, even when everything seems fine. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because at some point, you stop being able to say, I don't know. Not honestly. At some point, the sentence changes to, I know, but I'm not doing it. And that shift, that's where responsibility begins. Not motivation, not inspiration. Responsibility. And it's heavy, because now you can't pretend anymore. You see the pattern. You see how you interrupt your own thoughts. How you reach for distraction at the exact moment something real is about to surface. You notice it. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. That's where most people try to escape again. Not through distraction this time, through overthinking. They analyze the decision to death. Pros, cons, scenarios, backup plans. It feels productive, but it's still avoidance. Just more sophisticated. I've done this in ways that looked intelligent, even admirable. But underneath, it was the same mechanism. Delay the moment where action makes things irreversible. Because thinking keeps everything open. Action closes doors. And closing doors feels like loss. But here's the part no one tells you. Not choosing is also a choice. And it closes doors too. Just slower, quieter, without you noticing exactly when they disappeared. Raphael eventually made the decision. Not because he felt ready. Because he got tired of hearing himself think. That's something people don't talk about enough. You can reach a point where your own internal dialogue becomes exhausting. Where repeating the same unresolved thought becomes heavier than the risk of acting. So he left. No dramatic speech, no big announcement. Just a quiet email, and the next morning felt strange. Not freeing, not exciting. Empty, because when you finally act, you don't immediately feel better. You just feel the absence of avoidance. And that silence can be uncomfortable if you've been running from it for years. But something else happens too. Something subtle. You start respecting yourself again. Not because everything worked out, but because, for once, you didn't interrupt the truth when it tried to speak. That's the shift. Not external, internal. And it doesn't require a perfect plan. Just a moment of honesty that you don't immediately escape from. So here's the question you've been avoiding. Not the big, abstract one. Not, what should I do with my life? Something smaller, more precise. What is the one decision you already know that you keep pretending you don't? Don't answer it out loud. Just notice what happens in your body when you hear it. That hesitation, that subtle discomfort. That's not confusion. That's recognition. And what you do next, not tomorrow, not when things align, but next. That's where your life actually starts to change, or stays exactly the same. Você chegou até aqui, isso já diz muita coisa sobre você. A maioria das pessoas abre um vídeo sobre disciplina e fecha na metade. Você ficou, você ouviu, você está procurando algo real. Então, eu quero te mostrar algo que criei especificamente para quem está nesse ponto, que sabe o que quer, mas ainda sente que o dia termina sem que as coisas mais importantes tenham sido feitas. É o Untamed Mind Protocol, 3 ferramentas em um sistema só. O e-book te explica por que sua mente sabota antes mesmo de você perceber e o que fazer de diferente. O painel de performance abre direto no seu navegador. Sem app, sem login. Você define sua intenção, suas 3 prioridades, usa o timer de foco, marca os hábitos, faz a reflexão noturna. Tudo em um lugar, funcionando offline. O áudio de reprogramação tem 20 minutos. Ouça de manhã ou antes de dormir. Age no subconsciente, onde os hábitos reais vivem. Link na descrição. Se você assistiu até aqui, esse protocolo é para você. And if this hits something you've been trying not to look at, you're not the only one. There's a space where people are starting to face this kind of honesty without pretending anymore. It's called Untamed Mind, not a place for comfort. A place where you stop negotiating with what you already know.